What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel here from the GeekSpeakNation channel, and today I'm here to give you my honest thoughts on the PlayStation 5. The good, the bad, the ugly, why it's my favorite console I've ever owned, but at the same time, why I don't think mine's gonna last more than a year. Stay tuned to find out why. So, like I said in the beginning, I'm not burying the lead. I absolutely adore this console. It's been a while since I've had a console jump that has truly kind of felt drastic in its quality. I think the last time I kind of felt this way was, jumping over from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360 back in the day. I kind of felt like the last time where I was like, oh wow, technology is really evolving, just that very enthusiastic, enthralled vibrance of about being excited about technology. It's been a while since I had that. And I definitely get that with the PlayStation 5. There is definitely a lot to love about this console. But to start things off, a lot of things that people don't love about it is definitely the look of it. It is big, it is bulky, but at the same time, I absolutely adore the look of the PlayStation 5. I know a lot of people do not like it, but I enjoy the futuristic design of it, and I love that at the end of the day, it stays calm, cool, and collected. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't make any loud noises when I'm playing games. I know some people have issues with the disc tray, but I don't have a single issue with the disc tray being loud while I'm playing games. So overall, my experience with the overall console and the overall package that it's presented is absolutely fantastic. But the number one thing I wanted to talk about, which was like truly the star of the show for me, has definitely been this controller. The the DualSense is what they're calling it now, or the DualSense 5 or something like that. But this controller is absolutely fantastic. Ignore this little raised thumb thing. I use that for when I play shooters. But this controller, it is so hard to describe into words how fantastic it is. This is truly part of what makes the next gen experience feel truly like a next step. And it does it in such a subtle way. The number one feature about this controller is that you end up getting haptic feedback inside of it. So say if you're walking on a certain surface, the controls feel a little bit more slick, or maybe you're walking through like on ice, but if you're walking through sand, things might bring you a little bit more resistance. But the way I found it actually implemented in games was like, say you're playing a Call of Duty, left trigger to pull is going to pull up the gun, but then R2 is going to fire the gun. But in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, what ended up happening was that the pull of the trigger matched the recoil of the gun. So every single gun and every single pull of the trigger felt different depending on what I was using. When I was playing Spider-Man, if I'm diving off the top of a building, off the top of a skyscraper, and then I pull R2 and you feel the velocity and the controller is shaking because of the fact that you're going at this high speed jumping off of a building, then when you pull the R2 to try to shoot out a web and start swinging and you get that resistance of cutting through the wind, you feel that resistance in R2. And I actually didn't realize it until I just had my the game pause and I was just playing around with the R2 and I was like, oh wait, there's no resistance on here because the game's paused. And I didn't realize the whole entire time I was playing the game, I was barely even squeezing R2 because it was giving me just enough resistance to where it gave that realistic feel to the way I was swinging through the city. Absolutely incredible. It's little things like that tactile feature, along with the sounds that come out of the speaker at the top, that truly give an experience of playing the game that is unlike anything I've ever felt before, and it just fully immerses you in the experience. And then on top of that, with the controller, you do have a built-in microphone. It is pretty solid in the audio quality, not the best, not the worst, but it gets the job done. And then on top of that, you do have a mute button that is installed in there, and baby, that is a godsend for a lot of people. And yeah, the quality of that is a great quality of life change in and of itself. I like the touchpad on this. One thing that I found was that the lights are not as abusive on the eyeballs like it was with the PlayStation 4 controller, which is absolutely fantastic. So I did enjoy that design, and I'll just keep things rolling with the things that I enjoyed. The performance of the console is nothing to scoff at either. It is absolutely fantastic. The speed at which games load every single time consistently, I count it every single time. It takes me between 7 and 8 seconds to click on Spider-Man Miles Morales and actually be in the game swinging. Like, that boggles my mind. It absolutely boggles my mind that is a thing that happens so quickly. The performance I'm getting out of these games is just absolutely wonderful. Whether it's on a PlayStation 4 game that's been ported over here and I'm getting better resolution, like I picked up Monster Hunter World, which is a game I couldn't really get into like when I played it on last generation, but with the improved frame rate and the higher resolutions, it's just much better experience, much more enjoyable. The combat's more enjoyable for me on console. It's incredible what this machine is capable of, and the opportunity that it presents so many developers, being able to go back and enhance older experiences because now they can do 60 frames per second, or maybe they can handle a better resolution, or maybe if you go back in it, you can make it more interactive because they have such an amazing PlayStation dashboard for the PlayStation 5 that is highly interactive and has so many things where developers can create tips and tricks and these little video tutorials and show you the things that you have missed or you haven't. They have a quick resume feature while you're in the game to where you can go to specific parts of a map to do things for quests. Like I was playing Spider-Man Miles Morales and I realized there was a side quest that I haven't completed. When I was looking through my trophy list, I pressed square to resume that trophy, and what it ended up doing was automatically instantly teleporting me to that side of the map, and it made like picking up trophies a breeze, which is absolutely fantastic. And on top of that, the integration of the PlayStation Store into the overall UI, so there's no 8,000 years of a loading time on your PlayStation 4 waiting for the PlayStation Store to come up. It's brilliant. Everything is neatly organized, everything is easily accessible, and I absolutely adore the performance of this console. I haven't had a single overall issue with the actual performance of how it runs certain games, but I do have some other issues and gripes that we're going to get into in just a second. But generally speaking, when it talks about the things I love about the console, I love the UI, I love the look. I think this controller is truly the icing on the cake that makes next gen. And then on top of that, the way that the games perform, look, it's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant, and that is truly the most breathtaking thing about all this, is just the opportunities that you are given to enhance your experience on games that you've either already played or are about to play, and it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But that being said, I think that wraps up my overall general positive thoughts about the console, the things that it does, it excels at. However, I think it cannot go without saying, also sharing clips and sharing stuff is amazing. However, now we get into the gripes. Like I said in the intro, I don't think my console is going to last more than a year. And I genuinely mean it. I'm not sure if my console is going to live to see its birthday. And the reason I say that is that so many PlayStation 5s are showing a lot of issues with being in the first batches, right? I got one of the first batches as soon as the pre-orders went online. Around 4 a.m. I was able to nab mine from Best Buy, so I got one of the first launches of the console, right? And I don't know if it's a manufacturing issue because of COVID or because of scheduling, or, you know, trying to push out a console launch in COVID. Maybe they don't have enough people being able to do quality assurance. But there's a lot of PlayStation 5s out there that are bricking, dying, and going through so many myriads of issues. Whether it's what I mentioned earlier in this video, the disc trays being too loud, games crashing in rest mode, and people being afraid to put their consoles in rest mode, which I've been able to put mine in rest mode, thankfully. And a whole myriad of other issues have been cropping up, right? But on top of that, on top of all those other issues, for my console, what I've experienced is that every single next-gen game that I've played has crashed. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Demon's Souls, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm trying to think of what else did I get. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm not sure if these are issues with the games themselves and the way that they are optimized for PlayStation 5, but I genuinely think it's an issue with the console itself. But every single game, whether I was doing a mundane task like walking to my next objective, or I was doing something high octane like killing zombies and an attack chopper is going on, my games have crashed, each of them multiple times. And I am worried that this is going to be a continuing issue unless they put out some sort of system software update to help combat that. It just feels like there are some performance or technical issues that are going on under the hood that are kind of capsizing a lot of consoles before they can even get to truly shine. And that's kind of the unfortunate thing. And I'm just hoping that this is not an issue that's going to get to a critical mass at a certain point to where I'm not able to play my console. But I'm genuinely scared that these are like the early signs of something is going awry inside of my console. And on top of that issue that I've also had an issue with unfortunately with my controller. Now, I think I have found the solution to it, but other people ran into this as well. When I first used this controller, I got about close to between 12 and 15 hours before this thing died of straight gameplay. Nothing but playing for like 12 to 15 hours. And it performed fantastically. But after that, every single time I tried to use this thing, it was having an issue where it'd have to be on the charger for about at least 8 to 10 hours before it got to the full 3 bars of battery, which is not good. And then I tried switching it to the back, switching the cable that the console came with to a port to the back of it, the USB-C cable, to one of the back ports, then plugged it in, still ran into the same issue. Then I turned down the lights and I think some of the vibrational intensity. I turned down something else on here, like something that would take up more power, and when I did that, it ended up solving the issue, and now my controller charges perfectly fine like a normal controller. But the fact that that is a default bug/issue, that the console is putting out more, the controller is putting out more energy than it can be charged by the console, is kind of a big deal, or it's kind of a big issue, or that the port is bug. I'm not quite entirely sure which one it is. Or the cables that people are sending are defunct, because some people have said that when they switch cables, it seemed to work fine. But either way, there's an issue of the power that is being output by this controller and the amount of energy needed to make sure that it is charged at the same time, or not even when it's on, making sure that it's getting charged. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that this is an issue that actually made it into release. And for something that is able to be updated, like there's a chip inside of here that allows software updates for this controller, that's something that needs to get resolved immediately. And I really, really hope they just start cranking out some updates for a lot of these issues that people have had. We've only had one update since launch, and I get it. You're like, oh, it's only been 3 weeks, Daniel. You need to chill out. Eventually stuff's gonna come. Yeah, but consoles are breaking left and right, and people are afraid to put certain games in rest mode. And so at the end of the day, I just genuinely hope that they are able to sort this out and they put out a lot of software updates to fix a lot of these issues. Like for me, Black Ops just kept crashing so much that I was able to just get a refund from Sony. I was like, guys, this game is genuinely unplayable for me for multiplayer and zombies. Like, it keeps crashing. I don't know if it's an issue of the hardware or an issue of the game, but I genuinely can't play it right now, even after the update they put out. So it's crazy times, boss. It's crazy times. But those seem to be the main issues that kind of concern me. And then also hearing about a lot of other people's issues with sometimes streaming is breaking consoles, even though it can stream in 4K, which is so sick. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate, and I just hope that they're able to solve a lot of these issues just by putting out some software updates. I really do hope so, because I love this console, man. Like, this thing, when it's ripping, man, it's ripping through the competition. It's playing games fantastically. I'm switching and swapping. I'm never getting bored of my games because the performance is fantastic. It is genuinely made playing games so much fun. I am like just flabbergasted by the experience I'm able to have with my PlayStation 5. And that's not even like a trying to gloat or anything like that. It's just genuinely the experience that you end up getting. You're not missing out on much for the overall package. And I think I want to make that clear for a lot of people who are unable to afford it. This is not something, or unable to get one right now because of accessibility. This is not something you should spend $1,000 on. This is not something you should spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on. You should spend the exact retail amount on this console because the jump is big to me. I think this is a massive jump in performance, in the way that games look, in the way the games even sound. We're talking about 3D audio. I genuinely think this is an entirely upgraded alternate experience for consoles. However, you're not missing out on that much right now. So don't feel this compelling urge to have to spend whatever it takes to get the PlayStation 5. You don't. You really don't. You can wait. I'm telling you. When you get there, oh baby, 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 you're going to have a good time. But for right now, there's not many gaming experiences out there right now on the PlayStation 5 that truly validates going above the retail price right now, in my personal opinion. And by the time that more games are able to come out, I mean, heck, by the end of this year, they're projecting to put out, what, 10 million more consoles, they said, or something like that? So, it's okay. It's gonna be time to play these games whenever you're able to get them on the PlayStation 5, if you don't have one yet. And when you do get them, yes, the jump is fantastic. But a lot of the jump is very almost intangible concepts until you actually experience them, like making sure that games have a fidelity or a performance mode that genuinely keeps it at a solid 60 frames per second for the performance mode, or the vibrations and then the haptic feedback of the controller and all that sort of stuff. Like I can describe it in words, but until you feel it, it's an entirely different experience. It's like the first time you saw 3D. It's still the same movie, but it's hard to describe 3D unless you actually see it. Like, no, like it pops out at you. It's like, yeah, but it's still the same movie in 2D. Yeah, but it doesn't pop out at you. It's kind of that same thing. It's the same movie, it's the same games, but it's an entirely different way of experiencing them, and it's much more engrossing and much more engaging, in my personal opinion. But for right now, on top of including the fact that a lot of these consoles are bricking left and right, or having a lot of launch issues and are in need of software updates, hey, ain't no shame in the game in waiting. Ain't no shame in the game in waiting at all. But yeah, guys, that is it. Those are the summary of my thoughts on my PlayStation 5 that I have had for now about 3 weeks or so. I think specifically it's been 20 something day, 10 days, 12 days. I don't know. When these console launch? 12? Yeah, so tomorrow it'll be something. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what time is anymore. The point is, I've had my console for quite some time now. And I've had a lot of time to experience what it has to offer and break down a lot of the issues it has. But overall, I am still very satisfied with my experience. And at the end of the day, even if it does brick, ship it off to Sony, and they make it nice and right as rain. But overall, this has been a seamless, smooth experience in transitioning myself over to the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. I literally just plugged in a hard drive, and every single game I ever owned is now on there, and I got all my PlayStation 5 games. We're litty, baby. We're litty. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think about the PlayStation 5 in the comment section down below. If you own it, let me know what you think. How's it working for you? Are you experiencing some of the same issues as well? Let me know in the comment sections down below, guys. But also, while you're down there, if you do not own one yet, what are you looking forward to? What games are you looking forward to play? Are you still a little bit cautious because of some of the issues that people are working out or having issues with their PlayStations? Let me know what you think. in the comment sections down below, guys. Also, while you're down there, guys, if you enjoyed my review, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to become part of the GeekSpeakNation channel and get more content like this, and make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon and set it to all so you always get notified of when I post a new video. And yeah, Sony didn't send me a copy, so if you want to support the channel, head over to twitch.tv/GeekSpeakGaming and follow me over there, or if you are so inclined, subscribe with your Amazon Prime membership. That would be wonderful. I don't get sent free consoles, so that, you know, any little bit helps over at Twitch. Twitch is, if you want to support the channel, twitch.tv, please. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed doing this review, and I enjoyed my overall experience of pushing the console to its limits and testing all that next generation of gaming has to offer. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm Daniel, and don't forget to get geeky.